An inspiring sight in Kalamazoo tonight. Lance Armstrong and roughly 600 riders from all over finished the ride that the 9 cyclists started a week ago today before that deadly crash. These are the pictures of those who lost their lives: Deborah Ann Bradley, Melissa Ann Fevick Hughes, Fred Tony Nelson, Larry John Pollock, and Suzanne Joan Sipple. Of the injured, Sheila Diane Jeske and Jennifer Lynn Johnson were actually able to make it out to tonight's ride. And 24-Hour News 8's Heather Walker was there for that ride, and she joins us live with this inspirational story. Heather?
Yeah, talk about emotional, Brian. We were there and watched as some of the cyclists broke down when they got to the crash site.
All staging on the grass, so go ahead and fill it all in.
It just struck me. I had to come.
It was professional cyclist Lance Armstrong that spearheaded tonight's event. He heard about the horrible crash and reached out to the Kalamazoo cycling community. Why was it so important to come to Kalamazoo?
Let this awful tragedy stop us from doing what we
Because,
want to do.
I mean, we've all been in that place as cyclists, and
on our bikes.
We've all been scared. We've all been touched by cars, but to be run down it was so severe. And for 5 to lose their lives, it's unlike anything I've ever seen.
Wearing the chain gang jersey, he rode with the members who broke down as they reached the crash site on West Nidge Avenue, where 5 ghost bikes now sit in the rider's memory. Near the site was one of the survivors, Jennifer Johnson. She was wheeled out on a stretcher to watch.
So grateful to everyone for their support. It means a lot to me and my family, and I'm praying for those who are still recovering. They need a lot of prayers.
Hey, Sheila. Sheila.
Today, Sheila Jeske, another survivor, was released from the hospital. She was sitting at the start of the race with a wheelchair and both legs in casts. Both women were overwhelmed by the love they felt from the bikers and those on the sidelines for support.
Just want to thank the community for coming out.
Earlier in the day, Armstrong visited the cyclists in the hospital and met with the families of the riders who lost their lives.
There were probably 40 of us in there. I'd never been in a room like that. It was very, very difficult for me. This is still so fresh. I mean, you have people that 5 people who lost their lives just a week ago on this very ride.
It was uplifting to see the survivors. It was sad to see the memorial at the site. And it also is important to note today that the funeral for one of those cyclists was held today, Debbie Bradley. Many of the cyclists that took part in today's event came from that funeral earlier today. So a lot of healing left ahead for this community. Reporting live in Kalamazoo tonight, Heather Walker, 24-Hour News 8.
Absolutely, Heather, a lot of healing, but it took a lot of courage for those survivors to go on out to that race tonight, that ride. Good to see them out. Thank you, Heather.